Yo guys, let's look at patch 13.19 if there is something exciting and fun to watch out for. So, Azir's Q gets nerfed by 2 seconds, which generally means it will be a bit harder to get early priorities, while also he gonna poke less, which will be more so important for melee champs, even to short range melee champs as range champs, fuck. My bad. So, attack speed growth is actually lowered by a teens bit on Briar, but she already has lots of attack speed from her W, so it shouldn't be a big concern. Logic update: Q is now properly tagged as an attack reset for interactions like Halo Blades. So it actually does provide you an extra basic attack from Halo Blades, which means it will be slightly better if you wanna go for an early game oriented Halo Blades build. Although I'm not sure if it's really worth over Conqueror. Show me the Fury. Added a Fury bar to display the remaining duration of Frenzy, so that will be just helpful for beginners. Really, tooltip update. Blood Frenzy tooltip now clarifies the casting way does not remove or replace the empowerment Blood Frenzy granted by R. Okay. Way snack attack healing is actually reduced by 5% later on. Early on, it's actually increased by 18 bit by 1. Fine, I guess. Increased damage against minions and monsters is also reduced by 10%. Maximum percent missing health damage against minions and monsters is again reduced to 400. Bug fix the bug that caused the percentage missing health damage to be able to critically strike. Oh damn, that's why that's why Briar players are hurting so hard with this ability. Slow down. They added a short minimum cooldown after casting snack attack to prevent double cast with high cast builds. Bug fix the bug where knocked back enemies would sometimes not be stunned after hitting players' greatest terrain. Okay, incoming pinging R now tells teammates which enemies are in range. I guess it's certainly useful. Bug fix the bug where Briar would become stuck attacking the wrong targets if certain death target died against them. Challenges. Briar is not properly tagged as an Oxian champion for challenges. Okay, item recommendation. Briar recommended items have been updated. Other recommendations have been updated. It's fine. So they added like 20 less cooldown on Galiosaur overall, which generally means he will be able to participate in more Baron, Drake fights, team fights and whatnot. So it generally means he's gonna have more threat over the map just because his cooldown on his ultimate will be 20 seconds lower, which is definitely great to have on such a strong ultimate. Gangplank. Okay, so cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds, right? And the Death's Daughter is also increased by 15%, which is quite good because it's easier to connect right now abilities such as the Blitzcrank hook after Gangplank's cannon barrage, or of course like if you play Gangplank then it's easier to connect your own barrel. Upgrade raise morale, it's just a 10% movement speed, which generally allows you to disengage of course, which means that his team will be a bit more slippery overall. These are definitely good quality changes without imbalancing his laning phase of course. Which can be really annoying if it's imbalanced, of course. So these are good buffs actually. These are very good chin buffs, especially in long term. So I got like 14 more damage early on, but it increases significantly more, of course, and more, to the point where it actually you'll have 44 more damage, which means on 4 shots you're gonna have 44 more damage. And you gotta realize that the lower someone goes, because you shoot them or your teammates are on top of them of course, the more damage your bullets do. So because you deal more damage with the bullets themselves, you're gonna deal even more damage with the next shots because of the missing HP damage. And also your passive also does damage based on missing HP, so if you ever get to like proc your passive on someone, I guess, that you've been shooting with your ult, then I guess it's kinda nice. It's a nice situation thing. So they nerfed AD LeBlanc, Hopium, attack speed ratio from 0.625 to 0.4. Okay, attack speed growth is significantly higher by 2.2% from 1.4. Attack damage growth is 2.7. Mana growth. What? LeBlanc's core builds have shifted into Mana's AD build that turns into a very frustrating top lane split pusher. If she wants to be... Yeah, I was like, they shouldn't skip LeBlanc. They will definitely nerf that annoying LeBlanc build. If she wants to build like a fighter, then she should also have meaningful mana constraints, which we, yeah, that's the thing, like even without presence of mind, she doesn't have somehow mana issues. Mage builds can rely on bonus mana from sources like Lost Chapter and Ludent Stampus, right? Since nerfing her baseline mana pool and even her late game attack damage is nerfed to her mage power level, yeah. Okay, so less of a AD LeBlanc. And the growth of mana is also significantly lower of the regeneration. So I was like, they're gonna nerf the base damage and buff the AP ratio, or they just buff the AP ratio, okay? Because the AD build is significantly worse, so they wanna give more love to the AP LeBlanc, which only specifically buffs AP LeBlanc. She's still gonna be okay, but this kinda hurts a little. I guess. Like, yeah, I guess like overall her AP damage will be a bit higher on WE, but her basic attacks will do a bit less, so it's kinda like AP LeBlanc will still be viable in my opinion, so still fine to play LeBlanc, just go AP honestly. AP. Base armor is 2 more, he gets 5 more percentage early on and 1 less later on, which generally allows Lee Sin to be a way stronger fighter. The 2 armor gives like 1% bonus resistances from physical damage, which means your jungler clears are a bit more healthy. The same thing does your W. Now they're gonna nerf his E, but only later on. Early on it's gonna do pretty much the same damage, right? Pretty much the same damage, then they start to like nerf it a teensy bit to the point where it deals 20 less damage. It's gonna affect his damage a bit, but these are very good resistance buffs, which generally allows him to be a big playmaker. Now Lissandra's W, it just really means that she's gonna root slightly more by 0.15 seconds, which usually means maybe you can swing in an extra basic attack, or in some case scenario, like there's like a certain benchmark against the champion, you know, like it's harder for Yasuo players to like have enough tenacity. So when someone like sort of like knocks up an allied champion, right, and usually they go unflinching into Lissandra, he may not be able to meet that benchmark of tenacity where he can break out in time out of Lissandra's W to cast his ultimate. So this will be a very like niche type of buff. Overall it's a buff. It's more so like what you're gonna be like very effective into, right? Okay. Snowball Barrage. Magic damage, what are these Kesha buffs, man? Magic damage per hit. So you're gonna have 5 more percentage, which in total is 135 percentage. Maximum total damage, which is generally a buff. I think we will see way more Nunus, AP Nunus in general, just because all of his AP ratios are like very high right now, so I could really see really easily like a Nunu with like maybe Proto Belt into Rabadon, just because of how obnoxiously high all of his AP ratios are. They buffed Pike, but not really in the correct way. What do I even mean by that? So the HP is okay, I guess you get 6 more HP, but the cooldown of your W gonna be less with 2 seconds later on. Then in here in between it's gonna be a teensy bit less, but here's the issue, like you always max your W less as Pike, you max Q than E, right? And so the issue is that Pike does not like Pike needs early game power. Pike doesn't need like more frequent Ws. When he gets to max his W, his early game should be maximized out, usually not his mid-late game actually. So these are kinda useless buffs, but I guess the HP will feel to be okay, I guess. Like it's like something, you know. Maximum heal when burrowed. So the healing gonna be reduced by percentage, 2% later on. Then also it's gonna have flat 10, so he heals way less. I always felt like that healing is too much, but yeah, they nerfed it. So his damage gonna be significantly less by 4 early on. Then later on it's gonna be the same. I said significantly because you're gonna get 3 of those basic attacks, right? And it can actually hurt, you know, those 4 percentages. Bonus movement speed is also... What are these nerfs? What are the 5, 10? Oh god. Now they're buffing his W, but I don't know, bro. It feels like they got the Drex size early. I think you still can pick him. You still can pick him. And let's say like if you're like level 5, you're gonna have like approximately the same damage as before, but do people W max now? I don't think so. It's still probably not worth over E. But the issue is that so this scales with levels, this doesn't even scale with points. I mean, this hurts. The movement speed is hurts, so I guess Kindred player is gonna have a more fun time. This type of like kiting chaps like Graves, it's way easier to kite him because he doesn't get 30. He gets only 15, so his movement speed is less, his damage is overall less. Yeah, it sucks. Magic resistance, I mean, Yardi is not the best like into like certain matchups like AP matchups like Rumble or Ornn, there's lots of AP damage, so they're gonna love it. And other AP champs that struggle a little, I guess, like Gwen struggle to some degree. Vulnerable to certain champs such as Gwen, Cannon and Rumble, will preserving his much needed early game strength against other champions. So he's gonna suck a bit more into tanks that deal AP damage and into AP champs, and these are more so mid laners as well, because in solo queue, at least he been picked quite a few times, so I guess that if that does matter. Syndra, her wave clear might be affected by this a bit, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's gonna be approximately the same. But also note that these are like very good poking buffs, because every 7 seconds of course you're gonna have this Q up, and if you can swing enough of those in, it's easier to find a little damage with your R, but at most like these are just like making her early game slightly better. But when you're gonna have 2 Qs, that's gonna be 10 more damage if you hit both of them, which is like this is just like a little bit of a like extra poking buff, I guess, in lane. I guess with like Scorch and Comet or something, you know, but it's not gonna be something too big. Missile speed, spray and pray, so it's gonna be 100 more, 1000 more, my bad. Wait, how does that even look like though? How does that even look like? Who's this guy? Gravitation Fist. So how does that even look like? Let me just see. I have Twitch. Movement speed is nerfed by 5, good. She's fast enough already. And the total cost of rendering some, what's a big buff? 300 gold is a lot. 300 gold is a lot, it's no joke about it. But they also buffed Seeker's arm guard by 5. Whew, maybe we're gonna see more Seeker Pepegas. And static, what? 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 I guess this item is kinda dead now. You should not build item, starting with the minimum. Okay, I mean, I guess my PC runs it anyways. Behavior system! But wait, let's just try Twitch first. Just buy whatever attack speed items. Just buy attack speed stuff, I guess. I just wanna see it on like high attack speed, you know. But I'm gonna show you guys it on low attack speed as well, of course. Let's play Zalon Dummy. I mean, it's significantly faster than before. Harder to flash for sure. So how does it look like without attack speed? Like, let's say you got only one item. I mean, it's way faster. Maybe it doesn't look like, but it's way faster than before. It's very hard to dodge it right now. Yeah, it's almost instant actually, if you guys noticed it. Now, if you're gonna get more attack speed, it's gonna feel to be, of course, like smoother. Okay, so these are good quality buffs. It's harder to dodge it for Kalista players, while also it's like, it's sort of like dashing champs. It's harder for them to dash out of it or flash it, so it's kind of like a good, decent buff, I guess. Lilia players are fast enough, for example, to like kind of like sidestep it, so it's just like very specific like buff for Twitch, right? Behavior system, ranked solo duo tends to be the queue with the highest rate of disruptive behavior. Who would have thought? The added intensity of every game mattering is fun, but sometimes the pressure proves to be too great. We want to give players who are feeling the pressure of the ranked environment a way to reconnect with a more relaxed version of League of Legends, while at the same time introducing a penalty that is hard to work around by switching accounts for a week. For more detailed information on rank restriction, check out the player support article here. So why don't we actually get exact info on that? Oh, but we're gonna get to a different site. It doesn't sound a different tab. So is that really that long or what? Rank restrictions are given in addition to other penalties. That means it's possible to have a queue delay, chat restrictions, and a rank restriction at the same time. Oh. Rank restriction can be issued even for actions performed in unranked games if you verify additional infractions. So you cannot get out of the jail if you are inside of the jail. So that will encourage people to not go L9. Then you will progress and reset to 5 required unranked matches to return to good standing. How do I remove my rank restriction? Blind pick, draft, ARAM, rotating, unacceptable game modes, custom matches, tutorial, practice, arena, TFT, and then associated modes, co-office, all clash modes. Okay. Yeah, so basically what Riot Games promised. Okay. Ping adjustment, priority removed hook ping and pinging people and all that pinging stuff. Yeah, they have removed the annoying pings basically. Accessibility update. If someone ult you in the jungle, you have no sound. What? Okay, good for people without sound. Intro bot PB test in case missed that. Even working new bot AI in the background, having our bot first time is scary. Bug fix QL. Oh yeah. So lots of bug fixes. So we got the main things out of this, guys. So there will be some things that will be better. The behavior system, of course, certain items like randomness gets a buff into crit champs. Again, there are mainly some good things about this patch, that you can play. Pillar Blanc is a bit better, Jhin is better, Gangplank changes are like a bit whatever, but still I guess they will do something. Again, like Briar gets nerfed, Azir gets nerfed, basically like Lissandra will be a bit better. It's really all about like, there are some good things as well, but those buffs are like 5 damage on Syndra, so there aren't like too many fun things, but they nerfed anti-fun things like Static Shiv, of course, and they changed the behavior system, ping system, which is a very big thing, so you get less, what is this? You get less frustrated, so I think that's a big thing. So yeah, I think that's it. That's about it about the patch.